Hey, I'm gonna do a quick video on the Swimbait Underground Rago baits D3 that just came out. I was lucky enough that they sent me a couple early. These are the two I've been rocking. Actually, on the first cast that I had this bait, I caught a fish. This hitch one is pretty nice for the clear water. It's more translucent than say this shiner carp looking deal. I'd never fished anything like this before, but I'm always down to support. And you know, Jerry Rago is a legend, so my initial response was it would be cool because I like stuff like this. The diamond lip, the fluke tail has never been my favorite, but it looks really good and it's definitely effective. It's just a preference thing. I also like that it came with this size hooks and was ballasted. You can actually reduce these to size 1, 3X, and they weigh about the same, or size 1 if you don't like the big hooks. It has the 2 line ties. This is supposed to be for waking, the bottom, and the top for cranking. Well, the bottom cranks also a foot or 2. The top cranks 2 to 3 feet, I guess, stock. And Jerry described this as a rolly action on the podcast. It doesn't roll that much, except for on the real creep on the wake, on the wake attachment, the bottom attachment. It does have a pretty tight wiggle, but the bill is great. There's not a lot of resistance on the crank, and you could just absolutely smoke this thing, and then it randomly kicks out a little bit. Really cool bait. You can see on the left bait there, I shortened the tail by about 1 inch, and that changed the action a little bit, just gave it a little different look. I'm always trying new stuff. I haven't got a chance to, but I was gonna throw a toxic baits tail in there too and see what a more vertical tail does. It's got plenty of action. I actually really like this this carp color or shiner color, and the tail, the setup really has a real rodent type of look, especially the profile. You can see the profile in these baits are cool and fat. You know, all my baits are fat. I really believe in that. And overall, you know, I've had it for a few weeks. I've caught some fish on it right away, caught some decent fish. It has a tighter action. Right now I've been focused on some other type of stuff that I'm working with, so much as not to really grind out hard with this. But as soon as I threw this, I got bites, and I've always liked the double line tie. It's not offered by a lot of people because it's not understood by a lot of customers, but this could be a great action. I like the bottom one for waking and kind of cranking, but it doesn't get deep enough. Well, that being said, when they drop the baits, I actually just got this because I haven't been to my post office box, but I ordered a heavy float and bone because I wanted to be able to get it down more with the bottom line tie. And also has a real striper looking swim, and also a tight wiggle, so in the winter time, this is heavy floated, I could add weight to it. I'm assuming. I've only had the floating version so far, but I'm assuming I could add weight and get this to spin and have a real nice swim. You know, whether it's for stripers or bass. On the Delta, I'm not a big winter time. I usually take January off, to be honest with you, but into November, and as soon as February comes around, I'm still cranking stuff down. It's only a couple months off. Anyways, I want to do a quick little deal with this to show you guys, if you guys haven't seen. I don't know if, you know, it's not a toxic, but so what? It seems like it's a great bait. I'm a huge fan of ABS baits. I think they're cool. There's lots of options. They're readily available. The colors are cool. You know, I've always been a fan. I listen to that podcast. If you haven't listened to the podcast, go to the Cast and Crank podcast. Nick has one with just Jerry, and also with Chris Purcell and Jerry about this bait specifically. Really good info. But for me, it works on multiple levels, especially this one that looks kind of like a rodent. I'm gonna shove a worm tail in there and see what that looks like. I'm sure it looks great. It comes with these Phillips heads, so you have to have a Phillips head. And I'm the worst with organization, but I usually have like this Leatherman tool, has a Phillips head on it. Maybe just throw one in the boat or in your backpack if you want to change on the fly. I haven't lost a tail. I mean, like once you figure out what you like, I'm sure you're not going to lose it. The screws go in, set easy. The hooks it came with seem to be sharp. I'm throwing it on a snap. You know, I've been using a lot of snaps lately, but I'm sure if you put a ring, it would swim the same. So if you haven't checked them out, they're readily available. They're on Swimbait Underground. It's a collab between Jerry and them. So by supporting one, you support the other. You support Jerry and you support Swimbait Underground at the same time. So, I mean, that's always a good thing. So anyways, if you guys were hesitant, I mean, I made sure I got on the drop and I can just make my own stuff. So it's just a cool bait. It's a cool option to have multiple things. And I like that you can change the tail to other stuff because I'm always tweaking with stuff. And I also like that they put the heavy hooks on here because I really feel like a size 1 works equally well here, or maybe just a size 1 in the back. The more I can like tweak and modify a bait to get it to do certain stuff, the more stoked I am. So good job, Swimbait Underground. You guys know I'm always, that's like my family. And I've never met Jerry, but you know, he's a swim bait legend. And he always makes baits that catch fish, plain and simple. So I don't think you can go wrong with this. I caught one on the first cast, like it's not even a joke. Smoking it in with the 6-to-1. You could reel that very fast, way faster than most lift hard baits. So check me out.